Okay, all right, so our book is Trout Are Made of Trees. So right off the bat, I can see your face. You have the same question I do. How are trout made of trees? I don't understand. And so this is a question that I know I'm going to need to answer later because that's just going to bother me if I don't answer it. So I'm going to take a sticky note. I'm going to put it right here where I have my question, right under the title. And I'm going to write, how are trout made of trees?
Trout are made of flesh, not trees.
I know. This is like boggling my mind. I don't understand it. Okay, so I've written right here on my sticky note my question, okay? How are trout made of trees? Because that just bothers me. Okay? All right. So we come in. Okay, there is no table of contents. Okay, so I don't need to be looking for that table of contents. Okay, all right. Trout are made of trees. Okay, same question I had before. I don't need to make another sticky note because I already have that question written down. I know I'm going to answer that question. In the fall, trees let go of leaves, which swirl and twirl and slip into streams. Okay. Do we have any thoughts about this page? Anything that we want to make a note of? Anything we want to remember for later? Okay. They ride in a rush above rocks and over rapids. I kind of like the kids in the stream. I like that.
Then that's her father.
Mm-hmm.
Hold
Hold the book up so the video can see it better. They snag and settle soggily down. Huh, okay, so they're sinking to the bottom.
I thought leaves don't do that.
If they get wet enough, they sink to the bottom. And actually, if you were taking notes on this, that would be a sticky note that you would put on here. I didn't know leaves sink to the ground, so let's write that down.
So yeah, like you put the notes on the page that you want to ask.
Yeah, so we could say, I didn't know leaves would sink. Okay, so there is my note, my sticky, and I'm just going to put it right here next to the sentence that I made the note about. Okay. All right, let's turn the page. Okay. Bacteria feed on the leaves. Algae grow, softening surfaces. So what's this called when the bacteria and algae and other little creatures...
Is it an illiterate?
What's that?
Illiterate? It's,
Oh, you're thinking of the literary term. Yeah, it would be alliteration if it had the same, the softening surfaces. That's alliteration. Good point. Okay. I'm thinking in terms of what I would know from science class. Do you know the term for this? Starts with a D.
Oh, crud.
No, not quite. It's called decomposing. Okay, so because I know that this is called decomposing, I'm going to write.
I know
this is called decomposing.
I knew the word. I didn't understand.
Right, just couldn't remember it right now. So I'm going to write this is an example of decomposing. Okay? And in fact, because decomposing would be a vocabulary word in science, I'll underline that because that's a term that I may need to know. Okay? You don't have to underline things. I like to underline words when I do this because that's just how I roll. Okay? Next, the shredders move in. Crane flies, caddies fly, shrimp and stoneflies shred leaves. Rip and snip. They eat the algae-covered leaves, which become part of them. Okay, so what's this an example of an animal eating a plant?
Vegetarian?
Food chain?
Food chain, yeah.
I can see the picture now without the arrows.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to write this as an example of the food chain. Okay, so this is an example of the food chain. Okay. Meanwhile, predators are swimming and stalking. Crunch, there go the caddisflies. Munch, there go the stoneflies. Now the leaves have become part of the predators. Okay, so the little
No,
bits
it's
and
like-
pieces of leaves are
like-
now inside the predators.
It's like the bug eats that, then the fish looks for that thing, and then the fish eats that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just like Alex was saying, this is the food chain.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so because we know this is part of the food chain, I don't need to make another sticky note about it because I
Yeah.
already have a sticky note here for that.
Yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Trout join in. Swim and snap. Fins flick, rush, zap.
Those look like rainbow trout.
Yeah, they do look like the rainbow trout, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now the trout are eating the smaller predators. So this
Oh,
is
yeah.
more food chain.
It's like little bugs, two small fish,
Mm-hmm.
two big fish. Also like that.
Okay. They eat dragonflies, caddisflies, stoneflies, and minnows. The leaves have now become part of the trout. Tree shade keeps the stream cool for spawning. Female trout gather over gravel and lay eggs. The males fertilize the eggs.
Yeah, it's like the male protects the eggs,
Mm-hmm.
and while the male goes hunting.
Uh-huh. And the male, it fertilizes the eggs. So the female lays the eggs and the male fertilizes it. So both parents contribute genetic material. They contribute their DNA.
Well, yeah.
I'll
Why?
show you the video when we're done.
Oh, I know.
Here come the hatchlings. Well, these guys don't look like fish at all, do they?
No, they look like aliens.
Yeah.
No, it's like, oh, they look like pink little cute aliens.
Mm-hmm. They do look kind of cute, don't they, Alex?
Now look at they have tails.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah,
bits
you can kind of see that they're sort of looking fish-like in this picture.
they look like eels, just roll a beard.
Mm-hmm.
They just look like mini eels with just roll up beards.
I wonder what this little beard thing is.
Oh, that's the stomach.
Is that their stomach? Oh, okay.
Yeah, when they grow, that thing vanish. That thing just goes.
Okay, so was this like extra food for them until they learn how to eat?
Yeah.
What do you think, Alex?
Yeah.
Okay,
When they're
I'm curious about that. Let's make a note with a sticky note to research this.
yeah, when they're growing, that thing just gets smaller and smaller until that becomes their stomach. What? See, they have black eyes when they're hatched, even when they're in the eggs.
Okay, so my question is, what is that pouch on the hatchlings? And you say it could be the stomach.
Oh yeah, that's a stomach.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's something we can look up later,
See,
or we
when-
can ask Mr.
In
Rocco.
the eggs, they have black eyes, and when they're hatched, they still have black
Mhm.
eyes. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
They just look like
Let's check out the next
cute
page.
aliens.
They grow up in a stream, crack, kersplash, shaped by fallen branches.
Those might be the babies.
Yeah, these are the fingerling trout.
Yeah, see, the thing
Like
is
what we have
gone,
outside.
and that's their stomach.
Mm-hmm. So like it went into them, I guess. I don't know.
Oh yeah. They need to, when they're growing, that thing, they get fatter and fatter
Mhm.
as that stomach.
Yep. Trout are made of trees. So are the bears and the people who catch the trout and eat them.
What the heck?
Okay, so why is it saying that?
I have no idea.
Okay, well think about our food chain. Okay, so we go from the leaves that fall into the water and they decompose, and then the little creatures come and eat them, and then the big creatures come and eat the little creatures, and then those creatures get eaten by the trout. And then who eats the trout?
People or bears?
People and bears. So that means those molecules that made up the leaves from the trees are now in our bodies and are part of us now. Those nutrients have been passed on to us.
So, trout are made of trees.
Uh-huh. And if we eat a lot of trout, that makes us made out of trees too. Okay, and then we've got the last page is about the trout life cycle. Trout are one part of a vast food web centered in streams and rivers. Trout require cool, clean water to survive. Trees shade streams, helping keep the water cool. As stream water winds its way past fallen branches and rocks, it speeds up in some places and slows down in others. Fast-flowing water scours away dirt, leaving gravel. This creates the perfect nesting place for trout. Fanning her tail and fins, a female trout sweeps away the top layer of gravel to create a pit, the nest. She lays several thousand eggs in the nest. A male trout swims over to the nest and fertilizes the eggs. The male and female cover the eggs with gravel, then leave. In about a month, the eggs hatch. Each young trout, called an alevin, has a yolk sac attached to its body. This sac provides nutrients. When the sac is used up and absorbed into the body, the alevin swims out of the gravel. At this point, the young trout are called fry. So what is that? It's a yolk sac. It's actually the yolk of the egg that's still attached to it after it hatches.
How do you get the stomach?
I guess it develops into a stomach. I don't know.
That's the yolk sac?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
So I can go back to that question, which I marked, and I can draw a line, and I can write the answer now. It's a yolk sac.
Seriously, when they're hatched, they look like cute little aliens.
Okay, so now I have my question. I have my question, and then I have my answer. Okay, so my question was, what is that pouch on the hatchlings? And it's called a yolk sac. So I've got both question and answer there. Okay. Fry hide in quiet pools among tree roots and branches that have fallen into the water. They eat aquatic insects, insects that live in the water, as well as tiny crustaceans and plankton. Many of these creatures feed on leaves that fall into the stream. As the trout grow, they also feed on larger animals such as snails, small fish, tadpoles, and adult frogs. When trout mature, they spawn or mate and produce a new generation of trout. These trout, like their parents, feed on the insects who feed on the leaves that fall from the trees near the stream. Okay, so it's all part of our food chain. Those nutrients get passed up the chain to the bigger creatures that have eaten them. Is it kind of distracting seeing the video?
No,
Okay.
I can still listen.
All right.
Be a stream
Be
hero?
a stream hero.
The heck does that mean?
I don't know. Let's find out. Encourage landowners to leave plants at the edges of streams and lakes. They should not mow right next to the edge of a stream or allow cows, goats, or horses to graze too close to the water. Tall plants at the edges of streams help cool a stream and protect its banks. Dragonflies, frogs, and other creatures need these stream and river edges, called riparian edges, as habitat. Never pour paint, oil, or other dangerous chemicals into the storm drains on streets. Encourage landowners to avoid using pesticides and fertilizers on lawns near streams. These chemicals can run into streams and pollute them. Adopt a stream. Join with local organizations for stream bank cleanup days. Learn how to test the water in local streams for pollution and how to survey the stream for aquatic insects. Okay, so be a stream hero by doing things to help keep the stream safe and clean.
Oh yeah, to protect the trout.
And then it gives us some suggestions for places we can look later for information. They give us some websites and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to
Okay.
press stop?
Yeah, go ahead and press stop.
Do I just press this button?
Yep. Just